Good morning. It is 6 o'clock on your Friday. Thank you so much for joining us here on CTV Morning Live. Rosie is away today.
That's right. And after a taste of spring-like weather, winter returned to the capital yesterday. You probably felt it. Environment Canada had to issue a flash freeze warning for Thursday evening with all those puddles and melting snow on the ground. And now Ottawa is waking up to a fresh dusting of powder. Melissa, what's the temperature like right now?
It's cold, Stefan. Feels like minus 15 with that wind chill out there this morning. And today, temperatures below that freezing mark. -2 is the daytime high. The most of the snow is done for now. We should get a little break this morning and see a bit of sunshine, but we could see some flurries. And those winds, yes, the winds are still gusting and howling out there. Full details on that in a few minutes. Right now, your news headlines.
In developing trade war news, U.S. President Donald Trump is now backing down temporarily on sweeping tariffs. The U.S. is pausing tariffs on some Canadian and Mexican goods. It is the latest confusing and chaotic twist in a trade war that is threatening both countries' economies. Canadian and Mexican goods that fall under the North American Trade Pact are now exempt from the tariff. That covers about 40% of Canadian imports into the United States. This exemption is set to end on April 2nd, but with so many changes, it is hard to predict when or if those tariffs will return. Here's what President Donald Trump said when asked about the delay.
This is something that we have to do. There'll always be a little short-term interruption. I don't think it's going to be big, but the countries and companies that have been ripping us aren't particularly happy with what I'm doing. But the United States will be very happy. And, you know, our farmers are going to be very happy. And again, there'll be disruption.
Canada is keeping retaliatory tariffs on $30 billion worth of American goods, but will delay the second wave of tariffs until April 2nd. Premier Doug Ford says the province's retaliatory measures will remain in place. He says it is also going one step further.
We're going to put a 25% tariff on electricity coming from Ontario to Michigan, New York, and Minnesota. And isn't this a shame? It's an absolute mess.
Speaking on Fox Business yesterday, Ford says Ontario will still impose that 25% export tax on electricity come Monday. U.S. booze will also stay off LCBO shelves until all tariffs are dropped.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau got emotional during what could be his final press conference as PM.
I've made sure that every single day in this office, I put Canadians first, that I have people's backs. And that's why I'm here to tell you all that we got you.
Trudeau reflected on a decade in office before the Liberal Party chooses a new leader on Sunday. He was announcing an extension of the National Child Care Plan to 2031. He says 11 provinces and territories have signed on to the $10 a day program. For the first time since Ottawa's largest school board announced controversial plans to redraw elementary school boundaries, parents are getting a chance to weigh in on the proposed changes. The school board held its first of several public meetings, and parents were emotional.
Daughter's 7. She has 3 best friends. All 4 of them are being completely decimated. They're being all sent to different schools. We haven't even told her about the proposed changes because it's going to be so heartbreaking for her and her friends.
Parents shared how the new boundary map would impact their kids. If the changes are approved, 30 schools across the board would be impacted and 11,000 students may have to change schools. The new boundaries would come into effect September 2026. There are more public consultations happening this month. On Monday, March 17th, there will be a daytime session at noon at the Rideau Community Hub and evening sessions starting at 7 p.m. at Brookfield High School and Longfield Davidson Heights Secondary School. There will also be 2 virtual meetings taking place on Monday, March 24th at noon and 7 p.m.
It's a sure sign that spring is on its way for many drivers. Deep potholes like this one opened up in the northbound lane of Colonel By Drive near the tunnel to the University of Ottawa. A post on social media says 5 cars all suffered flat tires after hitting it. A cone has now been placed in front of it to warn drivers that it's there.
After a lengthy investigation by Ottawa police, a man is facing sexual assault charges. Police allege the suspect was preying on post-secondary international students, offering to help with their immigration process. Police opened the investigation in October 2024 and believe there may be other victims. 47-year-old Bryce Paya has been charged with sexual assault with a weapon, sexual assault with threats, forcible confinement, and fraud under $5,000. Police would not say where the alleged offenses occurred. The president of the University of Ottawa International Students Association says recent changes to the federal program are exposing broader issues and vulnerabilities.
I was certainly concerned and very sad to hear such stories. And it's not easy to try to see who is trustworthy or not when you're in distress or you're looking for help.
The allegations have not been tested in court. Anyone with information is asked to call police or Crime Stoppers.
According to those in the neighborhood, an increase in police presence in the Byward Market and the Rideau Street area appears to be having an impact.
Again, this is the number one thing that the community was asking for was we want to see more of the police. We want to see them more of the time, and sort of go back to that core policing function of you're walking the beat, you know the community, you're engaging with people on a daily basis.
Police have stepped up patrol and visibility since last summer as part of Chief Eric Stubbs' priority to make the area safer. Businesses, visitors, and residents all say they've noticed the extra officers and that so far it has had a positive effect. Police say they plan to step up with even more patrols and visibility this summer in time for the peak tourist season.
Not all heroes wear capes. Some of them carry shovels.
Firefighters presented
there's
a token
been years
of
we've been
appreciation.
here, never needed it. But the one time, a couple weeks ago, that it was needed, I know it made the difference.
That is the person firefighters presented a token of appreciation to. He is a resident who helped fire crews prevent a house fire from becoming much worse. Daniel Lamotte received a champion coin yesterday. The fire hydrant on his front lawn was cleared of snow, saving firefighters crucial time in helping them contain a basement fire in Orleans. The city of Ottawa maintains more than 23,000 fire hydrants, and in the winter time, city staff encourage everyone to be a hydrant hero and clear at least 0.5 meters around a hydrant.
Smart.
We can all do our part, Melissa.
Yeah, absolutely. And you never know when it's going to be needed, as we just saw. So, yeah fantastic. Our forecast today, my goodness. I went out last night. I braved the icy conditions and went to see you perform.
I appreciate it.
It was amazing. If you have the chance to go this weekend to see Stefan perform, it was amazing.
Well, thank you for coming out.
It's the story of Carole King. It's Carole King the musical, just fantastic, being put on at Meridian Theatre.
And we were warning each other on the drive home. And like, guys, it's really icy. The road conditions are bad. That wasn't the case when we arrived at 5:30 because that's our call time, 2 hours before the show starts. And then the drive home, pretty dicey, Melissa.
Yeah, absolutely. Just sheets of ice. Still pretty slippery out there on your roads, so keep that in mind before heading out. The good news is the messy weather has ended for now, but we're still going to see these howling winds throughout the forecast today. So we saw those strong winds, westerly winds, really pick up speed yesterday evening, and that will continue today right through until tomorrow as well. So you can see when it's kind of green and yellow, these very strong winds, we're going to see the winds gusting out of the west up to 60 kilometers an hour, and you'll see it will continue late this afternoon, right through into your evening forecast, and even tomorrow, winds will continue to remain really gusty, especially into the afternoon tomorrow. So we're going to deal with some strong winds over the next few days. The good news is the messy weather has pretty much ended. However, still very slippery out there because we saw so many spring-like conditions all week long, all that rain. Everything is frozen right now, so it is quite icy, and then there's a sheet of snow over top of that ice. So keep that in mind before heading out on your roads. This morning, a bit of a break. We will get to see a little bit of sunshine to start off your day, but then into the afternoon, there is a chance we could see a few scattered flurries under a centimeter, so nothing we have to worry about keeping our shovels handy as we head into tomorrow. Similar day for us, a little bit of sunshine to start things off, cloudier skies into the afternoon, and we could see a few scattered flurries in through Saturday. Sunday is the day that we could see 2 to 3 centimeters of snow in the forecast into the afternoon. Cold start to your morning, though. -8, feeling closer to -15 this hour, so make sure you're dressed warmly. Don't put that winter gear away just yet. -8 as well in the valley, -9 in Pembroke, Petawawa, -9 as well. over in Maniwaki. So the sun today will be up at 6:29 before 6:30, so very shortly, and set just before 6 p.m. at 5:58 later on this evening. Here's a look at what your day ahead looks like. So cold this morning, a bit of sunshine, very strong wind gusts though throughout the day ahead. Increase of cloudiness this afternoon, and yes, chance of flurries, but under a centimeter, so nothing we have to worry about too much. But just keep in mind that under that snow that you're seeing out there right now, there is just a sheet of ice. So glare ice in some areas. Keep that in mind if you are heading out on the drive in. -2 is the high for today, so temperatures fairly average. -10 is the overnight low. Could be some good conditions though for the Rideau Canal Skateway. This could be kind of the last chance, because you can see as we head into next week, daytime highs almost into the double digits. Don't forget, we are springing forward on Sunday, so we will have more details on that in the 8 o'clock hour and how you can help your kids, of course, lose that hour of sleep. 9 is the high for Monday, a few flurries, and then as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday, lots of sunshine, temperatures very mild.